Hello, I'm Bill Young, and this is my house with Betty, and I live here. And this house was built in 1903. This is a historic part of town, and we have solar on the roof on the other side. The interesting thing about it is, in here in Florida, is that down the street is a house, 5 houses away, that was built in the 1800s. In the 1800s, solar was patented and made in Coral Gables, Florida in the 1890s, and a house down the street has solar hot water in. Because in the 1800s you had to chop wood and put in your fireplace or your stove, get the water hot and pour it in your bathtub to take a hot bath. But then when solar hot water came along, you didn't have to do that anymore. And then at the same time, they're putting General Electric, Thomas Edison and Westinghouse was putting electric power plants in the cities like 4 blocks over from this house. And so they're then powering the houses from generators. So this is the early days. So this is how things were done before electricity, before photovoltaics and thermal solar residential hot water. Okay, now we're on the roof. Okay, so this is the solar hot water system. It was first put on here, not in the 1800s, but in when we first, shortly after we moved here. Betty moved here and I moved in with her. We were married. This was originally her house. And so this is solar hot water. You can see the big coils of the copper wire pipes collecting the solar. The pipes going down inside the hot water heater. So this was originally first put on. Then we take, and after that we had this photovoltaics put on. So hot water, photovoltaics, electricity. Yeah. 2,600 watts of photovoltaic up here on the roof, another 400 down here on the bottom. So it collects the sun. When the sun shines on it, right now it's in the wrong direction. The sun is not fully up yet, but it will be. And so we have a solar panel here that runs the pump on the hot water tank, so that there's no electricity, utility power required to pump the water. The sun does the pumping water. So when the sun comes up, shines on the collector and the tank, it all starts working, whether there's any utility power or photovoltaics or not. So this way it's always there. Okay. So you can see this is a metal roof, and we have standing seam brackets that hold it on, so there's no holes penetrating into the roof. It's clamped on. And so this will take 140 mile-an-hour winds, and this is photovoltaics, PV, so it is DC power. So this is one single string at 360 volts at 7 amps. Okay, in 1903, when this house was built, there was no electricity. Okay, we had a city generator that was then built, and then power lines was run to it. So this equipment wasn't here at that time. So in later years, this panel was added, which brought you to the utility power bringing in from Florida Power and Light. Then it had a meter which goes to the power poles that bring it to the utility. So utility power comes into here. So this system is grid connected. And so when I moved in with Betty, when we got married, we decided that we would then take and put solar on this house. So we added the system. We added the 12 modules that makes direct current voltage, okay, at 360 volts and at 7 amps. It comes down into the inverter. This is a new inverter, not the original inverter. And then it turns it to 2-phase AC, 120, 240, which then feeds into the power panel, which then can be fed back to the utility or used within the building. So, but what I did this year, because it just came out, this inverter came out with what's called shore power. So, being a grid-tied inverter, the sine wave of the utility is matched by the sine wave of this. They interconnect, so they're in phase. So I had that inverter replaced by this new inverter, which then takes that, when the utility goes away, it shuts down just like the old inverter shuts down, so it disconnects for safety reasons. But this one allows me to flick a switch, which then takes and puts one phase and takes that DC on the roof and turns it AC for one phase, which then goes into the house to circuits inside. So in a power outage, I have my PV system is powering selected items in the house for emergency power security. Again, this is Bill Young, and this is my house. If you would like to learn more, then subscribe to my channel and you'll learn more. I have 30 years of experience working for different organizations doing solar, mostly photovoltaics, but this house has solar hot water and PV. PV was first, as this is an antique house. Photovoltaics was patented in the 1950s and used in the space program to first power satellites. And from there it branched into all kinds of electrical needs. If you like this video and would like to learn more, follow me on Instagram or YouTube at Bill Young Suntree Solar.